Hello, my name's Game Freak JLS, and I wanted to make a video on poison build for Grim Dawn. Um, I just started playing this game not that long ago, and uh, I wanted to show you guys my build and kind of how I'm gearing my character. So let's get into it. This is my character. He's level 33, and um, these are his stats. It's an Oculist and a Nightblade, or a what are they called? Witch Hunter. Um, so basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into Dreeg's Evil Eye, and this is basically this skill right here. You throw a giant poison ball, and when it hits the enemy, it does a bunch of poison damage, and then acid damage, and um, it hits really, really hard. Um, these basically buff up your Evil Eye, so this will burst into little balls. So after you launch it, it'll burst into three um, individual balls, which also deals poison damage over time. This has a chance to stun and terrify the enemy, which basically makes the enemy so they aren't, on you. It also increases poison damage and the duration, so it does the damage over time for a longer duration. Vile Eruption goes into even more fragments, dealing more damage over time. We're going to put a point into Focus Gaze. So this is going to put a cooldown on your Evil Eye to where you can't cast it over and over again, but instead you have to wait. I think it's, 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds, 3.3 seconds, you can cast Evil Eye. But because we're putting a point into this, it's going to increase its damage, its crit damage, and more poison and acid damage. And it's going to reduce the target's physical damage by 4 seconds by almost 20%. So basically, any like melee damage that's coming towards you, they're going to be doing 20% less damage. So that's nice. I went with a witch hunter. Is that what it's called? Yeah, witch hunter, because if you go to the Nightblade side, there's a lot of defense in this tree that you can pick up, and also additional acid poison damage. So right now, since I'm only level 33, I have 1 point into Veil of Shadow. So when an enemy is in the radius, which is 3 meters, which isn't very far, it lowers their chance to crit you, and it lowers their speed, which is cast speed, movement speed, and attack speed. We also put a point into, I think it's Pneumatic Burst, which increases your health regen and your total speed, which is attack speed, cast speed, and movement speed. And it also has it to where when you press it, it will it'll give you back 10% of your health. So the bigger your health pool, the more health you'll get back. I plan on picking up this, which is going to make it to where I can't cast it as much, but it's going to increase the health regen by a lot more. So it's going to make you a lot more tankier. I also want to get this, which is going to make it to where you avoid melee hits and projectiles by percentage. I believe it caps out at 20%. So once I max this out, 20% of the time I won't get hit, which will also be more defense. This is kind of like a oh fuck button. So if I get down to like probably 20% of my health, I'm going to end up casting this. And it's going to make it to where I just don't take damage for 3 seconds. And it's going to give me a giant health regen per second. So this will help me get my HP back. As far as devotions, so far I've picked up the turtle. So I play hardcore. This is gonna help lower the chance of me dying. So once my health drops down to 40% health, I get kind of like an absorb shield. So it helps mitigate damage. I picked up the rat for damage. So we got cunning, spirit, which cunning doesn't really do anything for us, but spirit does. It also comes with poison damage and more spirit, some resistance, and more damage. Right now I'm working on getting the behemoth for even more health regen. So as you can see, I got 1 point in here, health regen. You get some base health, which is, you know, a lot of value. We'll get Giant's Blood, which is basically anytime I take a hit 15% of the time, it's going to heal me for 8% of my health and 400 health. And then it'll give me 30 health regen for 5 seconds. So even more health regen, more defensive. And then I'm picking up these nodes just so I can get the behemoth down here. Once I complete this, I'll have 5 red and 7 green. So I'll be able to come over here to the mana core and I'll be able to get even more acid damage. So I'm trying to go a little bit defensive and offensive. So this is gonna help a lot with poison damage. As far as attributes, you kind of want to save your attributes for later down the road. The higher level you get, gear will require, like for instance this required physique 443 and I only have 305. So the more points I put into physique, which is more health and health regen, it also allows you to wear certain gear. And then spirit I have 15 in, just because I want to test damage wise. This will increase your energy and more magic damage. So my poison damage should be increased. Gear wise, you're looking for, you know, acid poison damage, some physique, spirit, energy regen, and then resistances. Some offensive ability and defensive ability. Basically, offensive ability just increases your chance to hit and crit, and then defensive ability is against enemies, their chance to hit you and their chance to crit you. You can see my resistances are alright. Poison acid's just great, so I'm good for hardcore veteran. When it comes to poison damage, my gear's alright. other than that, I can show you some of my skills and buffs. So like right down here is this skill right here, Possession, which increases my acid and poison damage by 135%, and then Chaos Resistance 25%, and then 100% Skill Disruption Protection, and then also Damage Absorption. So this is kind of like a huge buff to your poison abilities. That's why I maxed out on here to pick up this skill. And then this right here is just going to lower their chance to crit me. That's what that buff is. And then I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to see where I got Gaze of Weakness. I think, oh, okay, it's on my helmet. So like your gear will have also items that could be buffs or more damage. So this one gives me a 6% offensive ability increase to enemies between 12 meters. So that's what those buffs are. And then this buff right here gives me a lot of health regen, chance to crit, chance to hit, and also when I press it, it'll heal me 16% of my health right now with how many points I have in it. This increases your acid poison damage and your physical resistance, poison and acid resistance. And because of my gear, I don't need to put any really points into this yet because I already am capped on poison and acid resistance. So I'm going to buff up my dude, and then I'm going to kind of show you like what the damage looks like. So we'll just go to the Warden's Laboratory. Oh yeah, and then I also got this from an item. So granted skills, Mark of Dreeg, gives me Dreeg's Infinite Gaze, which shoots projectiles and does poison damage over 3 seconds. So what that kind of looks like, press it just makes a bunch of projectiles from you. And then on my weapon I put a poison bomb on it, so it's a component you can put on your weapon, and this also does poison damage, so I can kind of I have something to spam basically and do some poison damage since I have to wait on the eye. So the eye is kind of like a bomb. So like if I can kind of show you this on this spider. Okay, well I can't really show you on the spider because he died one hit, but I'll kind of show you like what I do is I group up, and anytime I take a lot of damage, if you see my health bar, when I press these it increases my health by a lot. So drop the bomb, my health went all the way down, so I got my absorb shield so I couldn't take damage. Boom, bomb, and then shoot my poison when I can, bomb. And that's kind of the playstyle right now with where I'm at on my level. Just kind of throw the bomb when I can, and then also throw poison when it's on cooldown. And then make sure my buffs are up. And then you see the swords that are on the enemy that lowers their chance to hit me and crit me whenever they're in that meter range. So that's my quick video on my poison build, my witch hunter. And if you guys like this video, make sure to give a like, subscribe if you want, and I plan on continuing this character and showing you guys kind of my plan on the devotion tree and how I want to kind of make him. So, thank you. My name's Game Freak JLS. Thanks for watching. Bye.